All right, all right, all right. Welcome to the Mixed Up Mike Show. And I told you I was going to have a surprise for you, and I do have a surprise for you. Right here, I got one of the brothers from Tenacious, all the way from the UK, that came over to spin last night for Soul Speed Productions, and it is my honor to have him on this show. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank you so much for
Thanks for
sitting
having us,
down with
man.
me
Thanks for having
for a
us.
few
And
minutes.
what a great night. We're feeling it a little bit today, aren't we?
Yeah, a
So,
little bit,
Be
you
gentle.
know.
Be gentle. But
Yeah,
great
yeah,
night though, wasn't it? A great night.
yeah.
Fantastic.
I promise I
So,
won't bite. You know? But yes, it was a great night.
it
Great
was good.
vibe.
Oh, it was awesome. Awesome. What a great way to have a debut in the US. Well looked after by everyone over here. You guys and everyone has been fantastic. And like I say, the vibe in there last night was just
Yeah, amazing. Like
wasn't it?
everyone was just
Yeah,
feeling it. Everyone
it
was
was just awesome.
connecting. It was
Yeah, really good, really good.
really
So
was.
no, thanks for having us on, mate. Thanks for having us on.
Yeah, not a problem. Not a problem. I mean, like I said, my honor. Sitting down with you right now. How do you see the U.S. compared to the U.K. now that you've come over here? You went to the 603,
Yeah.
spent a little time there,
Yeah.
then, at Jewel. How do you see the scene here compared to over in UK?
Well, it's difficult to sum it up in one night, really. I think compared to what we normally play in the UK, we were playing a little bit more re-edits of old tunes last night. Whereas I think in the UK, we can go a little bit darker and a little bit deeper in the underground scene because that's the way it's always been in the UK. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. America kind of went soft and commercially.
Yeah, I think you're
bit.
right. But just going by last night, the vibe in there was great. The music, everyone played a blinder, and the music was spot on all night. I thought, it was brilliant. It wasn't commercial. It wasn't like you say, America can be. It wasn't commercial. I didn't think in any sense. But there's some great music about over the last few years, so it was nice to actually do a couple of hours set last night and maybe dig out a couple of bits in the last couple of years that we haven't played for a little while, and they went off in there.
Yeah, there was some tracks you were playing. I was like, wow, I haven't heard that in forever, or it was a remake or something like that.
Yeah, it's quite nice when you get to do a 2-hour set as well because you can actually delve deeper a little bit, and go, oh, I haven't played that for a little while.
And you get really into that flow too. So that first 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It's like,
I mean, some of the sets we do in the UK, because there's so many DJs on lineups, some of them you get to do an hour and it's like bang, in full tunes, full steam ahead for an hour. Whereas last night it was nice to just sort of go in and go with the flow, and go on a little bit of a journey with it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, no, it was wicked. So I think America, was great for us last night.
Awesome.
It exceeded our expectation for what we thought it might have been. You know
Awesome.
what I mean? Which is great to go home and think, yeah, we loved it. Well worth the 20 hours travelling here. But yeah, no, it was really good. Really enjoyed it. So yeah, no, it was wicked, and and hopefully we can come back and do it again sometime.
Yeah, definitely. That would be.
And get you guys over in the UK at some point as well.
Yeah,
you can travel to 20 hours.
That's fine. I'll hop on a plane and go over there. The European club scene's a little different than here. It's stayed more to its roots. Over there, like compared to America. Because a lot of it did get commercialized. You do have some underground, still, but it's not like it used to be in the early 2000s. That's when it kind of tapered off.
I think the thing is with the UK as well. The underground dance radio say, obviously we're on Centreforce, and it's like one of the biggest UK independent dance labels in the UK. I don't know whether or not you've got that because America is so vast with 50 odd different states. So, for us to cover the UK with 60 million people listening is obviously going to be a lot easier to cover than it would be to get a national dance music station in America. So I think that's probably the issue with the dance music scene in America. It's so vast. You haven't got Radio 1 you've got in the UK, but a lot of people are sort of switching off to that. It's not as dancey as it was 15 years ago when you had Pete Tong on there. Well, Pete Tong's obviously still on there, but you had Judge Jules, you had Seth Fontaine, Danny Ravelin, you had all these DJs that were on Radio 1, and you go out in the club that night to Cream or wherever and see them DJ. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not as big as it was back then. This is why Centreforce is doing really well, because they've got a lot of underground current DJs on that station that, like us, will go on and play on a Saturday night, and then 2 hours later you can come and see us in London at Egg or wherever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so like as people are getting ready, you know, at their house, and they can listen.
Yeah.
And then they get to see you.
Exactly,
you know,
and I think that helps keep the scene underground as well, because people are listening to what you're playing on the radio and then going off and hearing that same style of music in the club.
Yeah.
You know, you can get away with a lot more on the radio because you haven't got a dance floor to think, oh, that's fizzing out a little bit. You can actually go on there. And the nice thing with Centreforce is we get free reign, so we can actually go on and program our own shows and play pretty much what we like to the time that we're on.
And you don't have to worry about copyright
don't
strikes
have to worry
on anything.
No, you don't have to worry. Obviously, there's a band list. You can't obviously do swearing because of Ofcom and so on. But yeah, but we all know that, and we all know if it's got a swear word in a track, then because every track we download, I have to make sure that if it's got a vocal bit in it, like a talking bit, like a Roland Clark kind of vocal in it, you've got to make sure there's no F words in it. Do you know what I mean? Or no swearing or anything like that. So, and we all cover that. So long as we steer clear of those kind of tracks, then we're all good. And that's the good thing with Centreforce, is they'll give us free reign because they know we monitor what we play.
Yep.
You know, so
and you're not going to let something like that slip through.
So I think that kind of scene, having the radio in the UK, keeps the scene. Is helping keep the scene underground.
That's good.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I don't think you've got that here. If we went out into your car and tuned your radio in, what would you find?
Yep.
What would you find? You'd really end up listening to a CD or your Apple Music or something, wouldn't you? You know.
Yep. You're not going to hear that stuff.
You're not going to hear that.
Regular radio.
That's right.
You get your classic rock and your pop and R&B and hip hop.
That's it.
You don't have a dance or EDM.
What we call our scene, it's not catered for in the US on the US radio, is it?
No, it's not.
You know,
at all.
where it is in the UK. So I think that's a massive help for our scene.
And I know that a lot of the like online radio stations are from UK or other countries. Really not in America. I mean, I'm on Mix 365 UK radio.
Yeah.
Became a DJ on there like 2 months ago,
and
they're starting to do some things, and I'm glad to be part with them.
Yeah.
But I noticed most of the radio stations that are from UK or a different country, US, is definitely slacking in that area.
Yeah.
So hear that, America? We gotta get things going a little bit, right?
Need to listen to Centreforce a little bit more.
Yes, we gotta get back in that underground scene a little bit more, because that's where those more underground parties is really where like you get really good connections with people, And one of the things I love, like when you guys, before you performed, after you performed, like you guys were in the crowd with everybody, you're talking to everybody like you knew them all, and that is awesome to deal with other artists, because you have some artists, and I'm sure you know, that you try to have a conversation with, and God forbid you looked at them,
not interested,
try to take a picture or something, and so it was very nice,
You've got to be, I think in this scene, in this game, you've got to be humble with it. We appreciate the support that we get, whether it's on the radio or people buying our music, or we're in the clubs or whatever. Anyone that's given us a bit of support on the social medias and so on, which is a massive part of it now. If you've got time to speak to people, people will cotton on to what you're doing and actually think, actually, these guys are all right. And in the case of going out and wanting to be liked by everyone, but it's just how we are and how we've been brought up, and we're humble and we just appreciate everything that we get. Do you know what I mean? And the people that listen to the show. I mean, when we was at the Bar 603 yesterday and done the show up in Dover, isn't it Dover? Dover. Yesterday, as soon as we logged on and started doing our live broadcast back to the UK, the phones just went mental. Hundreds.
How many people were on hold waiting for the stream to start yesterday? What was the number?
It was, in total, I think there was, our show averages about 450 to 500,000 listeners on a Saturday.
Yeah.
That's between 6 and 8. Last night, we don't know the official figures, but but you get a gist of how many messages you get. So when you've got a text come in, 2 seconds later another text, 4 seconds later another text, 10 seconds later another text, and it's like that for 2 hours, and you end up with hundreds and hundreds of text messages.
Yeah.
It gives you a good idea that there's a lot of people listening.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of people listening. You know, and not everyone will text into a show.
Yeah.
You know,
Some
people in
people
there.
just
I say people just want to listen to the music or whatever.
Yep.
So, you know, but people that do text in, when you've got a busy show, you know about it, and then you obviously you want to try and read all your messages out as much as you can, because people have taken their time to text in, so you want to give them a shout out.
Yeah.
But it's also a
They
balance as well.
appreciate that shout out.
Of course
too.
they do, but it's also a balance as well, because people want to listen to the new music that you're playing as well. Because our show's obviously new music, championing new music, new sounds, and everything else. So it's a balance between people listening to the music and not talking over it all the time.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? So it's a balance. So you want to try and get all the shouts in as much as you can, but then let the music do a bit of
Yep.
breathing. Then back onto another lot of shout outs and do a bit of talking of what you got to say, and then back into the music again. So, and I think that's what works, and the format of our show works because you get a bit of both. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and again, like I say, you know, back to what you were saying, it's all about talking to people in the club. You know, that's what we're about. We are clubbers.
Yeah.
We are clubbers. We love the music scene. You know, we will go. Sometimes if we've got a couple of events on or whatever, sometimes it is literally you've got to turn up, you play, and then we might have to shoot or somewhere else. That's not being rude. That's just because we've got to be somewhere because of another event.
That's it.
But if we can stick around and we can stay, then we will.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And you know, and it's great. And we've got a little visitor here. Look.
Yeah.
Hello, mate. You all right?
He's a cool guy. Yeah. Yeah. He came to visit.
What you got to say for yourself?
You want to say anything?
Can I have a hat?
You got anything to add, buds?
Can I have a hat, please? So, no, it's all good, mate. So, yeah, we had a great experience being here, mate. So, it's been really, really good. Steve's feeling a little bit under the weather today.
Yeah,
Bless him.
He's hurting. So, we gave him the pass on the interview.
Yeah. I told him not to take 45 night holes last night to try and sleep, but he wouldn't listen.
Now, last month on Centerforce, you guys hit 8.2 million?
No, that's in the listenership for last month. The whole station for the whole of last month was something like 8.2 million listeners.
That is
it's phenomenal.
Phenomenal number.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
Right.
Even the station owner, when he told us last week, he was like, "I can't believe it."
Yeah, I mean, when you told me that yesterday, like I was blown away. 8.2 million listeners.
I mean, it's just crazy because I mean, you've got obviously it's DAB in the UK, so it covers a catchment of something like I think DAB region because it's not the whole of the UK. So basically the whole of London and a sort of 100-mile radius, and then you've got a DAB licence up in the northwest of the UK. So you've got Liverpool, Manchester, the North Wales, and that kind of area. So the catchment area just on the DAB alone, I think, is something like 20 odd million, something like that. But then you've got the tuning radio, and then you've got the Centerforce app. Yeah. So you don't have to be in the UK. People all over the world can listen to it. I like the show yesterday. You know, we had people in Miami listening, didn't we? We had shout outs in LA, and we had people in a few people were locked on in New York.
Yep.
Yeah. So people were listening, and I think people knew we were in the US, so they sort of, I'm going to text in because we're in the US. Yeah. You know, so it made them text in. So. Yeah, no, it's good. You know, we love the show. And it was really great to be able to bring the show over with us and do it over here yesterday. It was just, it was amazing.
It really was amazing. I mean, I had a blast watching you guys perform. I mean, you know how you guys work together too. You know, it was so fluid how you guys work together, and obviously you've been doing that for a long time. You know, working that way together and producing your own tracks and like Centerforce, like you said, you're putting out new music, so probably a lot of new track releases on the radio station.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great platform for us to be able to make music, play the music for people to listen to, and it helps because when we drop one of our tracks in the club, and if the people who are listening to our show are in the club, they know it because they've listened to the show. It's like a lot of the other DJ producers that are on Centerforce, like the Dolly Rockers and that are producing massively at the moment, and you've got the Wayne Soul Avengers, and there's lots of people like Sam Supply. There's loads of DJs on Centerforce that have got a lot of talent.
Yeah.
There's a lot of talent on the station, and for us to be part of it, it's great.
Yeah,
That's
awesome,
great.
man.
And for them to say, yep, when you go to America, you can take your show with you. It's happy days.
Can't complain with that, right?
Yeah. So
I mean,
it's really good. So
that's definitely something, being blessed with.
yeah, and what a great little venue
know,
that 603 bar is.
Yeah, it is nice. It it makes it a little intimate.
Yeah.
Because like the club itself is a little deceiving. Because when you look in, you just see
you just think it's a bar,
and you don't know that there's a complete other side with lounge area, VIP area. The DJ booth in the back.
I mean, obviously we had the show. We had it just purely for the show yesterday. So obviously wasn't open to the public, but you can imagine having sort of 300-400 people in there, and let's give you a proper underground. That will give you a proper London underground kind of feel to that, because that's dark room, good sound system, banging house music in there, and a load of friendly, happy, smiling clubbers. That's a recipe for a good night.
Exactly. Recipe for a good night, right there. You heard it. You heard it. Yeah, Tenacious from the UK. Told you I was going to bring you surprise on the Mixed Up Mike show, and I brought you the surprise. So I want to say thank you. I know these guys have been hurt. They've been going hard for a long time, and we've all been up for a little while. But I want to say thank you so much for coming on the show.
Man. Thanks for having us.
I appreciate
thanks everyone for your support as well.
You too.
And Steve.
And Steve.
Steve said thanks. A big thank you to Jason. Big thank you to Jason for having us over as well.
Yeah,
thank you.
Jason, Shogun, thank you very much for everything.
My pleasure, Vince.
Thank you so much.
Very humble.
And
And keep it locked to the Mixed Up Mike show.
Yes.
Yes.
Keep locked on, because next week, Buddy Loves is coming on the show, and all the effects will be back. I'll have a brand new stage for you to check out, new visuals to check out,
and we might even
and
bring the dog
some
back.
other new stuff. Yeah, maybe.
There's the dog, look.
But
see, if you had effects on this, you wouldn't see the dog, would you?
Well, on the Mixed Up Mike show, we do have a dog on the show.
Oh, do you?
My dog,
Right.
Odin. Yeah, he likes to come in and sit on the green screen or something like that, and knock it over during an interview or something. He just sits behind your feet while you're DJing. So if you step back, you're gonna take a fall. But next week, tune in Sunday 3 p.m. You heard it from the Mixed Up Mike show with Tenacious.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Peace out. Thank you for tuning in. I'm out.
That was the most not flawless interview I've ever seen you do. That just